So I'm not sure where this is headed, but I hope it doesn't run into this large line of Dragoons just moving around the map here. In fact, he could. Yeah, I'd move back if I were you. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Dragoons taking a couple of hits onto that shuttle. That shuttle almost moved into that massive group, that massive army. So I should be calling it the dropship rather than a shuttle. Dropship now looking for another opening. It has found the opening, going in for the line. It's like playing rugby or something. Here's the shuttle, just landing at this expansion. This is a great drop by Strelok, because this expansion is blocked off by the line, the wall of pylons there. So it's going to be difficult and in fact really annoying for Slider to come back and defend this. And it's only taken 3 units for Strelok to totally halt the mining operation at this expansion. So this is a great play by Strelok. It's just putting a bit of a cap on the exponential resource gathering of Slider. And now here comes the big push. Strelok moving up, but I'm just worried about Stasis Field, because he's got a lot of arbiters here ready to achieve this, and we've got one Stasis getting one tank, a better Stasis on a couple more tanks. We'll see another one coming in shortly, and a whole lot more tanks. Storm's going down, so this is actually looking quite devastating on Strelok's forces, but Slider's taking a lot of hits as well, because he's not able to flank this force. He's having to come in full frontal, and just a few remaining tanks are able to actually keep shelling. And the bad news for Slider is that if he doesn't win this decisively, Strelok's going to keep all of those stasis-fielded units alive after this, and that's going to be horrendous. This drop is still going well. It's unchecked totally, and Slider's just hanging around because he really wants to get rid of these units which have been hit by the stasis field, but that's not going to be possible because Strelok has reinforced himself very quickly, and there the stasis is wearing off, and these tanks are actually able to do a lot of damage on the units. A storm going off, but unfortunately the storm went over the stasis. It isn't hurting the tanks. Meanwhile, Strelok got an EMP on those arbiters, so just making sure they've got no shields or energy left. Strelok has actually finally destroyed that 4 o'clock, that 5 o'clock expansion, and he's getting his own expansion up to 1 o'clock. So Strelok actually doing a great job winning the lead now in this game. He's come from behind to get to where he is now, and he is actually taking the lead in this game. He's pretty much evened up the unit supply. He's got plenty of tanks alive, and he's actually pushing forward towards Slider, so he's got an advantageous position here. Moving in, he's on the other side of the map. He's actually sieging up and shelling Slider's brand new expansion over at the 4 o'clock. Slider heading towards that, but meanwhile, Strelok's actually got a large force ready to just siege up this whole plateau around Slider's mineral only. So Slider dealing with Strelok's attack over at the 4 o'clock. I think this is the one that came in directly from the 5 o'clock, just flew over with that dropship. And Strelok is actually has distracted Slider so much that he's managed to secure that 1 o'clock position, and that's going to really benefit his economy. He's going to be able to revamp his unit count very quickly. And Tank's in an awesome position here, just blasting the Slider's units. Slider coming in on a flank from 2 sides, so this is going to be effective, but Strelok is already sieged up and in position. He's got a science vessel to just give vision. Storms going down there, so there's pretty good storms. Slider should be able to deal with these tanks eventually, but not without taking huge casualties, and that's going to be the main thing we see here. In fact, he hasn't managed to take out the tanks yet. He's still coming in, and he's still losing units to these tanks. And this isn't the last group of units that Strelok has by any means. Strelok is going to have a huge amount of units soon because of his economy. And Slider's going to have a real inability to keep up with Strelok in a minute because he's just losing so many units. Probes actually dying now. Probes being transferred in the way of vultures, and Slider desperately moving over to deal with this, but Strelok's quick with his mines. Oh my god, heading up to this unprotected expansion at the 3 o'clock, and all of those probes are going to be made a meal of by these vultures. Slider's main forces coming in, and they're not going to be able to get there in time. Vulture's wiping out those probes, and Strelok, all he has to do is just keep pumping units, and he's going to be able to take this game. Oh my god, great play by Strelok. This really hats off. This is really good stuff. Strelok needs to keep a cool head and just macro-management at this point, because Slider's not going to be able to keep up with him in terms of macro. Now, Slider has his main and his natural, which are probably nearly mined out. He's lost all of his other expansions, so he's got no probes at any of the other ones. He's got no mineral only anymore. Looks like it was an EMP that just went off. That was cool. And I think Strelok's just coming in now to deliver the finishing blow, so we'll see units being sieged up, and we should be able to take out Slider's forces here. Alright, yeah, so there's no probes there. Strelok just moving into position, just claiming the good location. That was a good stasis though. He managed to take out the bulk of Strelok's tanks. But if we see some offensive mines, that's really going to do plenty of damage here. I think at this point Strelok is really multitasking heavily and is probably focusing more on the macro management side, because he knows that that's the point where he's going to win the most easily against Slider. Although obviously he's not skimming on the micromanagement too much, because he's keeping the mines up. Looks like those tanks are going to go down as soon as the stasis field is over, but look at all of those reserve tanks. Yeah, that's too much. As soon as Strelok moves down with those, the pressure is going to start really building up on Slider, more so than it already has. Slider just in real trouble. I'm just going to call it in favour of Strelok at this point, guys. It's been really good so far. We'll see what Slider has to offer in Game 2 on Bluestorm, but I think, yeah, he's just been outclassed by Strelok overall. He's got no more Arbiters being produced. He's got one ready. Looks like another dropship load full of troops. Yeah, looks like Strelok is keen to keep the pressure up with that dropship. I really love his dropship use in TVP. It's a really cool thing to do. It's actually quite hard to manage. You see dropship use more often in TVZ because you can tend to do more damage, but in TVP, it's a really nice icing on the cake maneuver just to get in the lead with. Yeah, so moving out, I think, yeah, so Strelok should be ready to move out before long. He's mined out his main, but both players have at this point. It's turned out to be quite a long game. Strelok's drop now actually being thwarted by Slider, so he's just picked it up again, and he can feel free to come back whenever he likes. And that additional pressure on Slider is going to be a pain, because Slider's units are going to be really spread thin at this point, and he's got to worry about this big push coming in by Strelok, and again he doesn't want to get dropped either. So we'll see how this goes. Not too many units left for Slider at all. Not too many at all, no. Alright, so here he comes, and Strelok on the higher ground. He's being mashed by storms again. Oh my god, these storms are probably the best thing that Slider's managed to do so far. He's had a good run with the storms, but for everything else, Strelok has been ahead. So these tanks are going to siege up in any second now. Yeah, just coming straight into the choke point. So this is where you don't want to have your tanks arrive if you're a Protoss player, because they're pretty much dominating any units which are leaving Slider's base easily, and the Slider has quit. So well done to Strelok, he's won. Thanks guys, this is Vor commentating on another TVP Group G in the TSL. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be bringing Game 2 shortly.